You join me in the Toyota CHR GR Sport 2-litre hybrid. Now, the CHR GR Sport is a completely new grade or trim level, if you will, of the CHR. It's not one that has ever been seen before. Now, this CHR has a 2-litre petrol engine paired with an electric motor and battery in the traditional hybrid sense. So it's not one that you would plug in to charge, it's simply one that will recharge the small battery pack through regenerative means as you drive along. That means that the driving experience is a little bit different to that of a plug-in hybrid, because you can't usually run for you can't drive for long distances on battery power alone. The CHR sits in the kind of jacked up hatchback segment of the market, so it's not really a full-size crossover. I guess it's more akin to something like a Hyundai Kona. Certainly space-wise on the inside, I'm not struggling. I've got a lot of adjustability in the seat, and I found it really easy to get a comfortable driving position. The view forwards is excellent. The view through the rear screen is a little bit compromised simply due to the angle of the screen and its compressed height. Now, the 2-litre petrol engine is normally aspirated, so there's no turbocharging here, and what that means is that you get, after the electric motor has kind of worn out, you get a very traditional sense of power delivery. There's no strong kick due to any kind of turbocharging. It will come on as the revs increase. The whole system has a pretty healthy amount of power. You're looking somewhere in the region of 180 brake horsepower for the combined petrol engine and electric motor at full chat. And for a car this size and this weight, because it's not overly heavy, because it's not a plug-in hybrid, you've not got a large battery pack, for a car this size, that is a really healthy number, and it does mean that it accelerates pretty quickly from 0 to 60. You're looking around the 8.2 second mark. The thing that this does have is a CVT gearbox. So what that means is that when the engine revs up, the revs will actually kind of reach an optimum point and kind of sit there. And a CVT gearbox is very good in the sense that it will allow the engine to continuously operate in its most efficient rev range. The way the engine sounds due to this, however, is very odd, because we are used to an increasing pitch and crescendo almost as we accelerate in a traditional car, and then that drops down again when a gear is changed. However, because the CVT continuously varies its ratio, what you get in this is a rev up to a point, and then you sit there even as you gather speed, because the ratio of the gears changes. So the engine revs stay the same, but the vehicle's speed continues to increase. This is a tremendously efficient way of using the power an engine can offer. However, it does mean that the driving experience kind of is a little bit unconventional. For quite a high riding car, the CHR certainly handles pretty well. It's got relatively firm suspension, and that means that, yeah, it's a little bit jiggly, but it's certainly not a bad handling car by any stretch. You experience some lean in corners, as you would with any tall car, but it's pretty well controlled, and it's certainly not uncomfortable. dynamically this car is pretty sorted, I'd say. Now the GR Sport model does not change anything dynamically on the car. It's mainly interior changes, which are wonderful. The materials in here, these seats and this steering wheel, are different because of the GR Sport trim level, and the seats are gorgeous. They've got Alcantara centers and leathery bolstering, which just is a really premium kind of feel. The steering wheel also feels gorgeous. You've got perforated and flat leather on it, and the dashboard as well, squidgy, leather covered. The whole interior on this car really is gorgeous, especially for the price point that the CHR sits at. This interior is quite possibly, I'd say, one of the best in class. I really am very impressed by the material choices, quality, and the design. It's a really modern and well thought out and accessible design. You've got a really good infotainment screen. It's not the biggest in class, but it's a good infotainment screen right in your eye line, easy to use and easy to reach. And you've also got simple climate controls, which are physical buttons, thank you Toyota, and you've got a small digital cluster in the center of two analog dials. So it is beginning to show its age in some respects, the CHR. However, certainly interior quality wise and fit and finish, I'm really impressed. You've got a lovely leatherette type material around the gear knob. The gear lever as well actually it's got a really nice action to it. I mean, obviously it's a CVT automatic, so you're not going to be shifting a heck of a lot, but it's a really nice material, and the action of moving from park through to drive is very good. You can flick the gear lever over into sport, and what that actually does is it allows you to choose a predetermined ratio from the CVT gearbox, and what that means is you can kind of control your driving in a slightly sporty sense. You do actually have a dedicated EV mode in this as well, which means that you can elect to use battery power only for short distances. Now, you won't be able to go especially far doing this. However, it is nice to know that, say, if you were in an underground car park or something, you would be able to choose to just use batteries. All in all then, the CHR impresses with good driving dynamics, excellent interior space, and a very sensible but thoughtfully designed and laid out cabin. With good looks, especially helped here by the purple paintwork, the CHR is a pretty easy car to recommend. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out our social medias and some other things which are linked in the description below, and I will see you next time. Bye!